Hey honey, wanna ride my big rig? So what have we been doing for the last 5 days?
Traveling. We had this trip planned before we decided to go full time. We knew we were going to visit our daughter Julia.
So where are we at?
Sedona.
So what is this place we're at?
Oh, Sedona.
We like to sit down and plan the next leg, pull up Google Maps and see if we can get our rig into certain gas stations. And having to do that every single night is exhausting, really. If you had to do it like once every 2 or 3 days or a week, not so bad. And we're driving like 4 hours to 5 hours a day.
And here's Nashville. Probably covered 1,200 miles since then. It's been a whirlwind. We're traveling about close to 300 miles a day with 1 or 2 stops in between, usually to get gas. Someone just flagged us down and told us to pull over for something. Oh, that's what he's telling us. Cheryl forgot the gas cap. Oh wait, you're saying Cheryl wasn't the one that got the gas because you saw it on video? But now every time I get gas, from here on out, she's gonna ask me if I got the gas cap or not. One thing we didn't really think about was like every day we're stopping and getting gas, and gas prices are not good right now.
We were just talking about the gas motorhome and how difficult it is to get in and out of those pumps, especially when we're towing a car.
It's like the diesel folks have it lucky because they can go to truck stops and they're made for trucks. But gas pumps are made for cars. You get more confident. We did have one little incident in a gas station. Well, Cheryl broke one of the cardinal rules of driving with a towed vehicle, and she backed up the towed vehicle at the gas station. And she broke the second cardinal rule of never listen to an idiot. We thought the tires were going to do this and that. When they say don't back up with a towed vehicle, 100% agree.
That was a tricky situation with the gas station, finding a gas station, and then having 2 people on 2 different gas stations whipping right in front of us.
It was all downhill from there.
See, I usually pull this stuff up and scope it out on the satellite images.
So once again, it's your fault. You just admitted fault in the court. Case closed. 5 days, 5 different places. Went from Western Tennessee. Well, we started off in Middle Tennessee, made it over to Western Tennessee. Really cool place, wasn't that? Serendipity. Serendipity was neat. It seemed like a place out of a camp video movie or something.
Just came back from the Harvest Host in where was that?
Baxter, Tennessee. Delmonico Winery and Vineyards.
Eric's about to hop on a work call. He's been working. Of course, he's been working all day. Get back to work.
But I haven't done my hair or my makeup yet.
I had the pleasure of driving, going through Nashville. Kind of hard for me.
Do you need me to drive the last 2 minutes?
I got it.
You got it? And I helped. I was thinking about going over there.
That way. Holy moly, that's tall. No, you don't want to.
This is why married people live longer.
It looked interesting, but not safe. There were not enough railings for my liking, and there was a warning sign too.
So we went from Western Tennessee and into Arkansas, and then made it to what's the name of that state park?
Lake Dardanelle.
I like the way she says it. But it was a really cool place. I mean, the lake was huge. It was beautiful, but it felt like
home.
Yeah, it felt like what we love to camp. It's a state park feel. It felt safe. There was lots to do, lots of trails. You want to get some of the grapes? We've been walking every night. It's been a good getting exercise. It's a lot more than we did at home. But Cheryl made a good friend.
This poor dog must have gotten loose from his owner and is making our hike a little unpleasant because of these. If you watched our Charleston video, you'll notice that we had a bad tour guide named Jared, who happens to be our son. This time we had a pretty good tour guide. His name, we don't know his name, but we called him Scooby.
Our dog Blaze is pretty small, medium-ish, and he was very upset that this dog was running back and forth and left and right, and it was almost like Scooby-Doo when they comes out of one door in the corridors, it goes in the other door and comes out another one. This dog would disappear for minutes and all of a sudden just come bounding out of the woods on you.
It's hilarious. And at first it was cute. And then it got to the point where we realized he was following us, and he was not, like, he had a collar but no tags, and we thought if we just walked along, maybe the owners would just appear somewhere, like they were looking for him. And he's back. And if you have a motorhome, they do have some spaces with 50 amp hookups and plenty of space.
Yeah, it was somewhere I would have liked to spend a week. It would have been fun.
Because some of the state parks you can't fit in, but we didn't have any problems.
Yeah, so one thing we learned while we're driving down the road was, and I don't know where we heard this from, it could have been KYD guys or somewhere, but when a truck's coming up on your left and he's ready to come over and he puts his right blinker on and you flash your lights and they know they can get over, and when they do, they hit their blinkers somehow. I don't know how. They must have a special thank you button on. Well, where we go next?
This was it wasn't a Harvest Host, it was a Boondockers welcome. But what we learned is if you paid $15, you got full hookups, which we took advantage of and was a great price. I mean, I can't believe you got full hookups for $15.
It was a small little place, but it was nice.
Of course, you had the option of staying free if you just didn't choose the full hookups. But
if you ever want to go to the middle of nowhere, this is the place to go.
And it wasn't far off the interstate. Interstate 40. It was just right there, so you could hop back on.
And it was called
Territory Route 66 RV Park.
Ding, 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 ding. But it was on the old Route 66 that didn't get turned into interstate and stuff, or like a major road or a business 40 or something.
When we took our walk that evening, we were walking on the old Route 66, which was pretty cool. Except Blaze, we stepped in the grass, and the grass had some, I call them spurs. What are they called? Burrs. They're called burrs.
Thingies. I had to pull out of his little paw pads. But we did go downtown. We were in downtown Hinton, Oklahoma. And we're going to the Main Street Cafe. You can plug your phone in right here. We had such a great meal.
Yeah, that was good.
And the waitress confirmed that we were in the middle of nowhere. And the other thing we discovered was windmills. I've
never seen this size of a windmill before, and now I'm tired of seeing them because they're everywhere.
They definitely work, because everywhere we see the windmills, the wind is pretty strong. So I think they're producing a lot of wind. So that night in Oklahoma, I was up because the camper, the RV was rocking. There was a flag outside that was blowing and making noise, and one of our vent caps was banging a little bit.
I didn't have any trouble.
So heading into Texas, we went through Oklahoma City, which Cheryl really enjoyed. There's Oklahoma City. That was her favorite city to go through.
No. The traffic, the roads, they need repair.
And construction.
You just feel like your RV is going to fall apart.
We made it into Texas, and the roads got better. But what didn't get better was the suicide bomber bugs. One of the realities of camping or traveling with a motorhome is the big bug killer on the front of your rig. I don't even barely use the windshield. I think there's a bug in our windshield.
I don't know, we went our first 3 months of Weekend Warriors and never had to clean the windshield. And then all of a sudden we're having to clean the windshield every time we stop at a gas station.
So this is Saturday. I'm off work. I get to drive all day Saturday. I'm like, cool, I make up for some of the time Cheryl had to drive a lot in the first part of the trips. Trucking, got my chips cashed in. It sounds so much not like the song. The county line here is kind of gray. It's not black and white.
What happened to Frodo?
Frodo had a boo-boo. Inside the gas station here, we found this little parking spot, and as you can see, it's not very nice concrete. Lots of dips and holes and places to do bad things to your tire. So Frodo has a flat. We're prepared for this. We have the tools, we have the abilities.
This was Eric's demeanor. My demeanor was panic. I just shut down. I went inside and just
Well, I told
sat
you,
there.
go find me a tire place. So the good news is, it looks like the tire is fine. I think we hit one of these giant rock things over here, and the tire pressure was probably a little low enough to, with that impact, to break the seal between the tire and the rim. It's holding well so far, I think. We readjusted the TPMS sensors on the tires before we left. Got it reprogrammed, and maybe when I put it back on, that it wasn't on properly, and it may have been leaking air slowly. So that tire was a little soft. Cheryl saw a warning, but because I'd mentioned that they're lower than in reading, she didn't think anything of it. But a good hard bump hit hard enough that it kind of broke that seam between the tire and the rim. So got the tire off, got the air compressor out, put some air in it, got the spray bottle with water and soap, gave it the bubble test. It passed the test, held the air for 20 minutes. So we put it back on and we're trucking down the road. Crisis averted. We're headed to Windmill City. Look at the windmills. We're headed right past west of Amarillo, Texas. Is our next stop at a little park called Walnut RV Park in Vega, Texas. Yeah, and I knew we were getting into something different when I called and made the reservation.
The nicest people ever.
The hosts here are having a cookout with hamburgers and hamburgers, chicken, and steak. I heard baked beans. I'm not sure what else. Do we have beans? I don't even remember the beans. I didn't see the beans.
I don't remember. There were different sides and there were desserts.
Yeah, it was.
They even
so
offered
cool.
Different beverages, and I mean, we brought our own. All the guests brought their own, but they offered that as well, and it was included in the price, which was like $40-something.
Yeah.
For full hookups.
Full hookups, and they fed us. The coolest thing about it all was interacting with everyone, all the other guests. It was probably 6 different couples, something like that.
And we all have a common interest, but we're all going in different directions. And it was just really neat to hear other travelers' stories of their whys and what they're doing, visiting children. And
some people are full-time, some people were retired. It reminded me of an old-timey tavern where you had all the travelers coming from different places and going different places. I guess that's exactly what it was. So we made our way across New Mexico. Welcome to the land of enchantment, Gandalf. This is your kind of place, buddy. The scenery changed. We were truly in the Southwest now, right?
Right. It just felt different.
Which for us East Coasters was just a different environment. It was like a foreign. We're in New Mexico right now.
Yeah.
It's like a foreign land, and we're actually at the Route 66 RV Resort and Casino. Which is really nice.
So we did go into the casino. I haven't been in a casino in 20 plus years.
I'm not that old, so yeah, it's been 20 years for me too, and I don't remember a thing, but it just was weird. We didn't know what we were doing. We put some dollars in some things and some lights flashed. Sharon was really good at one guy. She went from like $10 to $12 somehow. But we spent all $12 by the end.
Yeah.
Like, I'd put $1 in and push a couple buttons, and it was like, and it's gone.
I have to admit, it just wasn't my thing.
We're heading out, finish our trip up, and this leg of the trip, we're going to go to Flagstaff, and the next video will be Flagstaff, Arizona.